things that happened to you in the past. Maybe somebody did something and you just keep rehashing it over and over again. And you go to therapy and you think about it and you talk about it and you keep wanting to find a way to deal with it, right? To come to grips with it. But in the meantime, while you're not doing that, you keep thinking about it and talking about it and maybe being passive aggressive towards the other person, or being angry and resentful and not forgiving and not letting it go. Even when you think you've forgiven, not letting it go. It's still there and it's still bothering you. I get it. Really, I do. I have a couple things that have happened to me in one of my primary relationships that I just keep going over and over in my head and coming up with new ways of looking at it. Maybe if I look at it this way, or maybe if I understand it better, I'll be able to get past this and I'll stop having it affect my relationship. But in fact, that's not what happens. The more I think about it and the more I try to deal with it, the more it's there. It just brings it back up again. And then I find myself behaving in ways that I don't want to behave. I behave, I'm angry, I'm passive aggressive, all those kinds of things. And that's not who I am, it's not who I want to be, but it is who I am in those moments. Can you relate? So recently, I was talking to a counselor and a therapist, and we were talking about it. And I was saying, I behave in these ways that I don't want to behave, and I just keep thinking about it, and I don't want to bring it up to this other person, because if I bring it up to this other person, they're going to be angry that I'm bringing it up again, like again, because it wouldn't be the first time. And in the course of this conversation about this, I started to think about something that I know, of course, but that I'm not doing. So again, common sense is not always common practice, or common knowledge is not always common practice. So I started thinking about it, and I thought, if only I could just let it go. Just let it go. Like, just stop thinking about it. I said, I remember that my husband used to always talk about, we did all this personal development work together, and then one day he said, I'm really tired of rehashing the past, like of constantly looking back at the past and trying to come to grips with it or whatever. It's not working for me. I just want to forget about that part and start fresh, like start from here. And if stuff is in the past, is in the past. Rear view mirror, right? Leave it in the rear view mirror. Or stop looking in the rear view mirror at it. So he said, I think it'd be more valuable to just say, let it go and just say, here we are, and how do we move forward? So I was thinking about that too, and I'm talking to this therapist and saying, my husband always would say that, and kind of in this moment, I'm thinking that I wouldn't want to bring this particular situation up to this other person because we've talked about it before. And it's like, I'm the only one who can't get past it. And why is that? And why, it just makes me behave in a way that is not me, or at least it's not who I want to be. So what I really need to do is try to figure out how to let it go. And I left her office thinking about that and thinking, that's the key. There's nothing wrong with trying to understand why things happen or why you react the way you do or why you behave the way you do. But at a certain point, you have to just say, I'm done with that. And here's what I know. There are lots of different ways that you could do that. You could do hypnotherapy, you could do more therapy, you could do brain spotting, you could do EMDR, there's so many things you could do to try to help yourself let go of these old thoughts and emotions about whatever it is that happened with the other person. In the end, however, to me, and this is the realization I had, is that the most powerful way to let something go is to remember how you want to show up. If you are, every time you're with this other person, you are vindictive, or you are angry, or you are passive aggressive, or whatever it is that you're doing because you still hold this grudge, if you ask yourself in that moment when you start to behave that way, is that how I want to show up? Is that the person I want to be? And if the answer is no, there's how you let it go. You say, that's not who I want to be. I want to be this way. And you behave that way. And in the process of stepping into the person you want to be, you will let go of that old stuff. Because see what happens, it's habitual. The behavior is habitual. So whatever happened, happened. And you keep rehashing it and rehashing it because you're behaving in a certain way and thinking in a certain way and you can't seem to stop. And that's because it becomes habitual. The only way to break that habit is to behave in a different manner. To decide, this is who I'm going to be. This is who I want to be, and this is who I'm going to be. And then be that. Stop being vindictive. Stop being passive aggressive and angry. Every time those emotions come up, and you, somewhere in the back of your head, you're probably thinking about whatever it is that happened. You decide in that moment who you really want to be, how you really want to show up. And that's how you behave. When you do that, you begin to let stuff go. I'm not saying that therapy is not valuable. I've written and talked about mirroring and looking at other people and seeing what it tells you about yourself. I'm not saying that any tools you have or try aren't valuable. They are. But at a certain point, you have to change your behavior. You may not be able to change your thoughts so easily, right? So you have the thoughts about whatever happened with this person, and you begin to feel emotions, and those emotions dictate your behavior. And it's like an automatic response, a habit. And so you have to develop a new habit. And as you develop the new habit of being, when you have that response, when you have those thoughts and you have those feelings and you start to behave that old way, you have to say, that's not who I want to be. That's not how I want to show up. It's not how I want to show up in this world, in this relationship, in any way, shape, or form. That's not who I want to be. And then you choose your new behavior. And in that process, you will break the old habit and create a new one. And as you do that, you will stop thinking about that old stuff because you'll be new. You'll be behaving in a totally new way. And those thoughts won't be triggering you anymore because when they come up, you're just behaving in a way you choose intentionally. And eventually you'll just forget, you'll stop thinking about those other things. So that's the conclusion I came to, and that's what I'm going to be working on, to just decide who I want to be and how I want to be so that I feel good about me. And when I feel good about me and my behavior and how I'm showing up, other people are going to respond differently as well. But the main thing is that I'm going to know that I'm stepping into my best self. I'm being the person I want to be. I'm not being that other person because I don't like that other person. I don't want to be her. I don't, and I bet you don't want to be that person either. So you have to make a decision to be someone else, to be the person you want to be, and show up in that way. So that's what I'm going to be working on, and that's my challenge to you, that if there's any situation like that where you're harboring ill feeling, where you find yourself acting in ways you don't really like, and you seem like you can't get out of that, to just decide how would you like to be? How would you like to show up? How would you like to behave? And start doing that. That's my challenge to you. I would love to hear how it goes for you. I wish you would leave me a comment, or I'll ask you to please leave me a comment down below on the video or on the blog post and tell me if you tried this and how it worked for you. I already see the difference in myself and in how I'm dealing with things and how this particular relationship is going. I see positive differences. So I know it's working for me, but I want to hear how it works for you. Okay, so leave me a comment down below. I'm Nina Amir. I'm the Inspiration to Creation Coach. I help people get from where they are to where they want to go. I help them combine their passion and their purpose so they get inspired and take inspired action and then get inspired results, which means they're creating what they want in their life. They're achieving their potential. They are fulfilling their purpose. And if that's what you would like, if you would like to finally be able to create what you want in your life, to feel like you're achieving your potential, your best self, that you're stepping into your best self, becoming that best self, and that you are in the process of all of this, being able to give back and be of service and to fulfill whatever your purpose is, then reach out to me. I'm a certified high performance coach, and I would love to work with you. I have a free 90-minute strategy session that you can apply for If you just click on the link above, fill out the application, and we'll get together for 90 minutes. And we'll talk about how clear you are about where you want to go and what's stopping you from getting there. Whether you have the energy and courage to get there, whether you have the ability to influence others to support your dreams, or to even influence yourself to support your dreams. And we'll talk about how you can step into your best self and create the life of your dreams and create your best self. So if that's of interest to you, fill out the application, click on the link, fill out the application, and then get on my calendar and we'll talk, okay? It would be my honor to be of service to you. It's my passion to help people create themselves, create their lives, create the things that they want to put out into the world. So I hope you will click on the link, fill out my application, and until then, as always, go out there and achieve more inspired results.